Hey everyone, it's Kimberly from Abiding Acres Homestead. I'm going to give you a tour today of my new house and the property and the gardens and everything that I've been doing for the last, I guess it's been 8 weeks since I moved in. I moved in July 1st. So today is the first time I've been able to get a camera out. You're going to have to excuse the sound. You can hear the road and the traffic a little bit through the videos, but I'm going to try and piecemeal them together. I don't have my camera set up yet for doing videos that I intend to do, so for right now I'm just doing it on my iPod and it seems to be working okay, so you might have to bear with the quality of the first few videos. So I'm going to give you a tour. Alright everyone, so I'm going to give you the first bit of the tour is at the front of the house. So right now this is the view on my front porch. This right here is the reason why I moved here. It's just beautiful, it's quiet for the most part. You're gonna hear some cars going past here because it's around dinner time, so there's a bit of traffic during that time, but usually it's very quiet. So this is the front. This next part is one of my front little flower beds. The previous owners had a lot of flowers, and I really don't have a lot of time to spend on the pretty flowers. I think they're beautiful, but I just don't have time to spend on that. So I dug them all out and I put in some herbs. I've got 2 tomato plants in here, which this tomato plant is just gorgeous. It's got beautiful tomatoes coming in. Really, it's just been a wonderful plant. But in the move, I lost the tag. So I actually don't know what kind it is. I think once I get some color on them, they start to ripen, I'll be able to tell better. But for now, it's a great plant. Sorry for the cars. This is my ground cherry plant, which is kind of taking over. I've never grown them before, so I didn't realize how big they were going to get, but there's a lot on there and it's fun. In here I have my tricolor sage and a little lavender plant I grew from seed, so I'm hoping he'll come back next year. And this right here along the front is celery leaf, and it is awesome. I'm loving it. I haven't been able to grow celery in the past, so this one I thought I'd try and just dry it, and then you can use it in soups and stews and your stuffings, and it's really good. It tastes just like celery, smells like celery, but it's a lot easier to grow. I've got some nasturtium, which are so pretty, and they've been really nice, growing really nice. I'll probably grow a lot more next year. Some sage plants that are really just starting to come in now. I harvested once before, so I'm getting some now. I don't know if you can see in there. That is my big wasp nest, which, oh boy, I've had a lot of trouble with. But you know, it's nearing the end of summer, so I'll be able to clear it out in the fall. And this poor tomato plant, look what happened. He got broke, and you know what? I've just let it go because there's these beautiful tomatoes on it, and they're still growing, and they're still getting big. The plant looks terrible, but I'm just gonna let it go and see if those tomatoes will ripen, and once they're ripe, then I'll tear it out. Oh, and I forgot, there's a little bay laurel, which is really just a bay plant, and I've got a few of those, and they're awesome. I really like them, so hopefully I'll be able to winter them, so put them in pots and bring them inside for the winter, and then I'll have them next year. So this is my front little flower bed. It's right at the front of the deck, and that's it. Nice rain barrel. And then here were, oops, lost sun. Here were some of my tomato plants. So these ones, after the move, so the move was hard with all my starts. I had started them all at the old house and then tried to move them here, and it was really tricky to move them. So, you know, and I only had one raised bed put in when I got here. Like, we put it in the first weekend I think I was here. So I really didn't have a lot of room, sorry for those cars, to plant in the beds. So I threw some of these ones in the pots. So mostly these are, I'll come around on this side. Mostly in the pots are the yellow icicle. And I'll see if I can get close enough so you can see what they look like. They've been really finicky right from seed start. They're all of these are yellow icicle tomatoes, and they're just not very nice. They were really difficult. I had a lot of blossom end rot on them, and especially because they're potted plants. Potted plants need a lot of nutrients, and it's just hard to keep up in the pot. So, but you know, I've got quite a few on there, and they seem to be getting bigger and growing well, even though the leaves look terrible. So I'm just letting them grow. If I get a good little harvest, then I'll be happy. If not, I mean, best that I could do. I have one ox heart here, which I love these. These are turning out to be my favorite. This is the ox heart tomato, and it's very nice. So I'm glad that he's survived. And this pot, this was 2 tomato plants and 2 pepper plants. And they were kind of what was left after I planted my raised beds. And they're actually terrible. They were not growing, and I think they had some disease or something on them at one point. So I just threw them aside. They're really just my cast-offs. And I kept watering because I thought, well, why not? Just water them, just see. And you know what? They actually, I've got some blossoms on them, and I even have a little tomato on this guy. And I'm not even quite sure what this one was, because again, these ones in the pot here, they don't have tags, so I don't even know what they are. I do know that these are cayenne. These are both cayenne peppers, but I don't know what the tomatoes are. But I guess we'll find out soon, because there's a little tomato. So these are my pots. There was 6, 7, 8 tomato plants and 2 pepper plants that I've got here in the pots, and they're doing okay, but I don't have high hopes for them lasting very long. But hopefully I'll be able to get the tomatoes that are on them, and that'll be okay. All right, this next section, I have this old step that they've left here. It's an old cement step, and it's attached to her clothesline that she had, so it's kind of neat. So I left it, and I'm not really sure what I want to do here yet. So it was kind of a staging area when I first moved. I kept all the plants on it as I was putting them into the beds and stuff. So this is a little bit of a hodgepodge here as well. I've got some mint up there. This little plant, again, it was one of those plants that in the move I lost the tag, couldn't remember what it was, and I just kept watering it because I thought, oh, I'll just keep watering everything and we'll see. It got bigger, and I transplanted it to a bigger pot, and it turns out these are strawberries. And I even have, where is it? I even have the tiniest little strawberry on there. So I'm kind of excited. I hope I actually get a few strawberries. And down here is some chocolate mint. Beautiful. So it died off, honestly, to the point where I didn't think it was going to make it, that it had died completely, but I just kept watering it, and sure enough, I've got beautiful leaves on there. So just goes to show, don't give up, keep watering. This is my creeping time. Again, I just didn't really have a spot for it, so I just left it in the pot. And these, I think they were called starlights. Very pretty little flowers. Nothing, yeah, they were just pretty, just a really bright color. And this pot here is cilantro. I had to restart the cilantro. I only had a little bit in the garden, but because of the move, I just My cilantro came up really quick and it was beautiful, but I kind of missed it and it all went to seed. So I needed it now for all my salsas and everything I'm making. So I replanted my cilantro, and as you can see, it's coming up again. It's really fast growing. So I'm very happy for that, and I'll be able to use it in my salsas. Okay, so this is, I'm coming around to the side of the yard, and I don't know if you can see right there, that little mountain. That is all the dirt I bought for my raised beds, and it's grown a little weeds, but that's okay. I have 2 more beds to build and put in, and we'll use up the rest of that soil. So this is my garage here. It's a nice garage, and it's got a wood stove in it, so I can heat it in the winter. So that's kind of nice. This is the side, the right-hand side of my property. Beautiful oak tree, like gorgeous oak tree. I love it. And over there, I won't walk all the way over, but over on this side, these are raspberry bushes up along this fence, and it looks like they did not do very well at all, but I think they just were overgrown and really needed some TLC. Up along the back fence here, again, another, that one's a maple. These are all blueberry bushes, and they started off really great this summer, but we had a really hot spell and it just kind of fried them, and I didn't have a watering system set up yet to deal with it, so I lost all the blueberries. But next year I plan on taking care of them, doing some extra work with them so that I get a good harvest. And this is the backyard, which it faces 300 acres, a property that's owned by somebody quite a ways from here. So it's just unused, 300 acres. It's very quiet. I love it. So this spot here was a shed that I just sold this weekend because I needed room to put in another raised bed, which is like these ones. So this is my second raised bed, actually. The first one is this one here. That was the first one we put in, almost like immediately moving here. And this in the middle is the asparagus plant that was already here. It's huge, it's wild, and I'm leaving it, so that's really awesome. And I'm going to build another raised bed around it, but I won't fill it until the end of the season, and I can fill it up. So then I'll have 4 raised beds, and the plan is to put a big fence all the way around it. So I'll just give you a view this way of all of them, so you can see that was the garage and the side yard, and along the back fence is all the raised beds. And then this here, I have to back up the other way, is the woodshed. So it used to be heated by wood, but when the furnace was over 25 years old, so they replaced it with a brand new propane furnace. Ooh, sorry about that. Motorbikes. We live on a very, actually it's a mountain. It's a very small mountain. But these motorbikes, look at them. Wow. Yeah, they're a little crazy. But it's also summer and it's cottage season around here, so when the cottagers are gone, it'll be much quieter. Okay, on with the tour. Woodshed. So it was a woodshed. This, the first one here, is now going to be my potting shed. So I'm going to work on that a bit and kind of make it into a potting shed. I just think it would be really cute. And there's another rain barrel system on the back of that there. Another shed, which is where I have like my patio furniture and stuff like that. It's actually a really nice shed. And the back of the house, not much going on there. Central air, everybody. That got put in right away because I moved here in July. It was so hot. Not a big fan of the summer, to be honest. So our propane tanks for our propane furnace that was installed. And then coming around, this is my big apple tree. It's so beautiful. There's so many apples on this tree. It's crazy. I'm not entirely sure what kind of tree it is. So if anybody knows or has an idea of exactly what kind of apple tree it is, that would be great. But, oh, it's a little dragonfly on my apple. So they look nice. I think it's a crab apple of some type, but I'm not really sure. Yeah, so that's my apple tree. And as you can see, some of the indents here and here, something's been coming in there to enjoy my tree. I think it's probably a deer. I'm hoping it's a deer, and I'm not going to say otherwise. Better not be a bear. But I'm pretty sure it's a deer. So this is the side yard coming around, and there's another apple tree and another apple tree. So I have 3 in total. And these are all little flower beds that the lady who had this before me, she loved her flowers, and they're beautiful. Don't get me wrong, I love them. I think they're really pretty, but it's too much for me to upkeep. So I'm going to be, oops, a little frog. Hi there. Hey, how's it going? Distracted. So too much work for me. I like to just cut the grass, get in there, cut the grass. Don't want to fuss around with garden beds, and that I just don't have time for, and they're just going to end up being big beds of weeds. So I'm going to cut them all out, giving them all away this fall if anybody wants to come and get them. And this is a cute little, I don't know if you could see it from here, a little entrance into the forest. So some people think it's cute, some think it's creepy. My other apple tree, which is loaded with apples. I think this one is probably different than the other apple tree, but beautiful. I have a white lilac and more flower beds. Hollyhocks, there's some poppies in there. The poppies were really pretty when I first moved in. This one, actually, this is the only flower bed that I'm keeping, is this wild one here. I just think it's beautiful. Nice butterflies over there. And yeah, it's not in the way when you're cutting grass and stuff. So I'm going to keep that one. I think it's really nice. And then the front, now we're back out at the front of the road again. That's the property. My tree, this one always is full of blue jays. Tons and tons of blue jays at this house. So that is your first tour of the property. Bringing you back around to the front of the house. And again, there's a few way overgrown flower beds here because, like I said, I don't have time for flowers. Some really pretty hollyhocks. Let me show you the hollyhocks. I really like this color. But this bed as well is getting torn out. All of this is getting torn out. So I might transplant one of those hollyhocks though, because it's really pretty, to the other bed that I'm keeping. But all of this is coming out, and I'm just, especially around the sides of the house, it's just going to be grass. So I could just cut the grass and not have to worry about it. At the front, I think I might do herbs again in these 2 beds. This, by the way, was just full of pansies. So I'll probably keep a couple cuttings of the pansies because they were really beautiful. I definitely don't need that many, so I'll cut them back. But yeah, so this is my house. New patio door going in here because it faces the front, and I just think that's right there what I want to see every day. So I'm going to put a patio door in so I can see this view. And here in Ontario, we're just getting to the end of August, so fall is coming and it's going to be beautiful. Colors are going to be amazing. I'm going to say goodbye before this truck comes. It's going to be loud. So thanks for watching, everybody. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and stay tuned for more.